Did you know that training for strength and training for muscle growth are two completely different games? The strategies, the science, and even the mindset required to excel in each are worlds apart. If you've been hitting the gym and wondering why your results don't match your effort, you might be making one critical mistake: using the wrong approach for your goals. Stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to break down the secrets that will transform the way you train and help you unlock the results you've been chasing. The 5 phases to gain strength and muscle volume. Phase 1. The difference between training for strength and muscle volume. When it comes to achieving fitness goals, the approach you take in your training makes all the difference. The choice between training for strength and training for muscle volume defines not only how you look, but also how you perform. While both methods involve resistance training, the techniques, outcomes, and adaptations are fundamentally different. Training for strength prioritizes myofibrillar hypertrophy, which focuses on increasing the density and contractile ability of muscle fibers. This method is designed to enhance how much weight your muscles can lift, pull, or push. The muscles you develop through strength training tend to be dense and compact, optimized for functional performance rather than sheer size. Athletes such as powerlifters and Olympic weightlifters are prime examples of individuals who use this approach to maximize their power output. On the other hand, training for muscle volume is geared towards sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which emphasizes increasing the non-contractile elements within the muscle, such as glycogen stores, water, and cellular organelles. This type of training results in muscles that are visually larger but not necessarily stronger. Bodybuilders use this method to sculpt their physiques, creating the full, rounded muscle appearance that dominates on competition stages. The difference lies not only in outcomes, but also in how the workouts are structured. Strength training involves low repetitions with heavy weights, targeting the fast-twitch muscle fibers responsible for explosive power. Volume training, however, focuses on moderate weights with higher repetitions, enhancing endurance and creating the conditions necessary for a muscular pump. Knowing these distinctions allows you to align your training with your specific goals, whether that's to lift heavier or to build a more sculpted appearance. Phase 2. Types of hypertrophy. Hypertrophy, the process of increasing muscle size, occurs in 2 distinct forms: myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic. Each type represents a different adaptation to resistance training and leads to unique results. Understanding these mechanisms is essential for optimizing your training program. Myofibrillar hypertrophy. This type of hypertrophy targets the contractile proteins within muscle fibers, actin and myosin. These proteins are responsible for generating force, so increasing their size and density directly translates to greater strength. Myofibrillar hypertrophy is the hallmark of strength training, and it's what allows powerlifters to deadlift hundreds of pounds or Olympic weightlifters to clean and jerk massive loads. The training protocol for myofibrillar hypertrophy involves lifting heavy weights for low repetitions, typically in the range of 1 to 5 reps per set. These efforts recruit fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are highly responsive to high-intensity loads. Over time, this type of training enhances both the muscle's strength and its resilience, creating dense, powerful muscle tissue. While myofibrillar hypertrophy doesn't always result in visibly larger muscles, the strength gains are substantial and highly functional. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, on the other hand, focuses on increasing the volume of non-contractile elements within the muscle, such as glycogen, water, and mitochondria. This adaptation creates muscles that appear fuller and larger, but don't necessarily improve strength to the same degree. This method is ideal for those looking to enhance their physique, as it creates the aesthetic of well-rounded, sculpted muscles. Bodybuilders rely heavily on sarcoplasmic hypertrophy to achieve the dramatic visual impact required for their sport. Their workouts typically involve moderate weights with higher repetitions, usually in the range of 8 to 12 reps per set. This style of training promotes blood flow to the muscles and enhances glycogen storage, contributing to the pumped look that bodybuilders strive for. Both types of hypertrophy have their place in a balanced training program. Athletes often cycle between these approaches to maximize both strength and size, tailoring their routines to their specific goals. Understanding these processes enables you to strategically design your workouts for the results you want. You're enjoying the video? Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button. Phase 3. Strategies for strength training. Strength training is an art and a science, requiring careful planning and precise execution to achieve optimal results. Unlike other forms of resistance training, the goal here is to maximize the force your muscles can produce. This means tailoring your approach to target the neuromuscular system, the energy pathways, and the specific muscle fibers responsible for power. Each component of strength training, from the number of repetitions to the rest intervals, plays a critical role in building a stronger, more capable body. Low repetition ranges and high intensity. The foundation of strength training lies in low repetition ranges combined with high-intensity loads. Performing 1 to 5 repetitions per set is the sweet spot for recruiting fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for generating explosive power. These fibers are particularly responsive to heavy weights, making them the cornerstone of any strength-focused program. This method emphasizes quality over quantity. Every lift is performed with maximum effort, ensuring that the targeted muscles are engaged to their fullest potential. Compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses are ideal for this purpose, as they activate multiple muscle groups and allow for heavier loads compared to isolation movements. These lifts not only develop strength, but also improve coordination between muscles, leading to more efficient movement patterns. The importance of rest and recovery. Rest periods are just as critical as the exercises themselves in strength training. Each set places significant demands on the nervous system and the muscles, so giving your body enough time to recover is essential. Rest intervals between sets typically range from 3 to 5 minutes, allowing for sufficient recovery while maintaining the intensity required for maximum strength gains. Unlike hypertrophy training, which often employs shorter rest periods to exhaust the muscles, strength training prioritizes performance on every set. Extended recovery times help preserve energy and ensure that subsequent sets are executed with the same level of intensity. This approach minimizes fatigue and reduces the risk of injury, particularly when working with heavy loads. Avoiding muscle failure. Pushing muscles to failure is a common strategy in bodybuilding, but in strength training, it's a practice best avoided. Training to failure can compromise form, increase the risk of injury, and overload the nervous system. Instead, strength training emphasizes stopping a set when proper technique can no longer be maintained. By avoiding failure, you ensure that every repetition is performed with precision and control. This approach not only protects your joints and connective tissues, but also allows for more consistent progress over time. Each session becomes an opportunity to build strength without jeopardizing long-term performance. Explosive intent. Training for power. Strength isn't just about how much weight you can lift. It's also about how efficiently you can generate force. Explosive intent is a key concept in strength training. Even when lifting heavy weights that move slowly, your mental focus should be on driving the weight up as quickly as possible. This maximizes the activation of fast-twitch muscle fibers and improves neuromuscular coordination. Exercises like cleanse, snatches, and jump squats exemplify the principle of explosive training. These movements combine power and speed, training your body to recruit muscle fibers more effectively. Over time, this translates to greater strength in both athletic and everyday activities. Progressive overload, the key to long-term gains. Strength training thrives on the principle of progressive overload, which involves gradually increasing the weight you lift to challenge your muscles and stimulate adaptation. Without this incremental increase in intensity, your body will plateau and strength gains will stall. A well-structured progressive overload plan doesn't just add weight indiscriminately. It involves careful planning, taking into account your current capabilities and recovery capacity. Many athletes use periodization, a method of cycling through phases of varying intensity, volume, and rest to optimize progress. For example, one phase might focus on increasing maximum strength, while another emphasizes recovery and maintenance. This systematic approach prevents overtraining and ensures steady, long-term improvement. The role of assistance exercises. While compound lifts like squats and deadlifts form the backbone of strength training, assistance exercises also play an important role. These movements target smaller muscle groups that support the primary lifts, addressing weak points and improving overall stability. For example, Romanian deadlifts strengthen the hamstrings and glutes, which are crucial for building a stronger conventional deadlift. Similarly, overhead presses help improve shoulder strength, contributing to better bench press performance. Assistance exercises also allow for variety in your training, keeping workouts engaging while addressing imbalances that could lead to injury. By incorporating these movements strategically, you create a more comprehensive strength training program that enhances both performance and resilience. The importance of core strength in heavy lifting. Core stability is often overlooked in strength training, but it's a critical component of lifting heavy weights safely and effectively. The core acts as a bridge between the upper and lower body, transferring force and stabilizing the spine during compound movements. A weak core can limit your performance and increase the risk of injury, particularly when performing exercises like squats and deadlifts. Planks, hanging leg raises, and weighted carries are excellent exercises for developing core strength. These movements not only improve your ability to stabilize heavy loads, but also enhance overall athletic performance. A strong core ensures that your lifts are controlled and efficient, maximizing the force you can generate. Mental preparation for strength training. Strength training is as much a mental challenge as it is a physical one. Lifting near maximal weights requires focus, determination, and confidence. Before stepping up to the bar, it's essential to visualize the lift, mentally rehearsing the movement to ensure proper technique and execution. Many athletes use cues, short, actionable phrases like tight core or drive through your heels, to stay focused during lifts. Mental toughness is built over time, as you push past perceived limits and achieve new personal bests. Celebrating small victories, such as adding a few pounds to your squat or mastering a new technique, keeps motivation high and reinforces the habit of consistent effort. Consistency and patience. Strength training is not about quick fixes or overnight transformations. Building significant strength takes time, discipline, and consistency. Every workout contributes to long-term progress, and even small improvements add up over weeks and months. Staying patient and committed to your program is the surest way to achieve your goals. Phase 4. Strategies for training to build muscle volume. Building muscle volume, or sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, requires a deliberate approach that focuses on optimizing workload, maximizing time under tension, and promoting metabolic stress within the muscles. Unlike strength training, which emphasizes raw power, hypertrophy training prioritizes muscle fullness and visual size. To achieve this, careful attention must be given to repetition ranges, progressive overload, rest intervals, and strategic use of muscle failure. Repetition ranges for muscle growth. The foundation of volume training lies in moderate repetition ranges, typically 8 to 12 reps per set. This range strikes the perfect balance between intensity and duration, providing the necessary time under tension to stimulate hypertrophy. Each repetition contributes to mechanical stress on the muscle fibers, which triggers the repair and rebuilding processes essential for growth. To further enhance the benefits of this range, a controlled tempo can be applied, particularly during the eccentric phase of the lift. Slowing down the lowering portion of a movement, such as a squat or bicep curl, increases time under tension, amplifying the stimulus for growth. Incorporating slight variations within the 8-12 rep range helps maintain progression. For instance, sets of 8-10 reps may allow for heavier weights, emphasizing strength alongside size, while sets of 10-12 reps focus more on endurance and muscular pump. The importance of progressive overload. Muscles adapt only when consistently challenged to handle increased stress. Progressive overload ensures that your training remains effective over time by gradually increasing the workload. Without this principle, muscles plateau and stop growing. There are several ways to apply progressive overload. Adding weight. Increase the load slightly each week to challenge the muscles further. Increasing repetitions. Add 1 or 2 reps to each set while maintaining proper form. Reducing rest periods. Shorten recovery times between sets to increase training density. Improving technique. Perform exercises with greater control or range of motion for added intensity. Tracking your progress is essential for implementing progressive overload effectively. Use a workout log to monitor weights, sets, reps, and rest times, ensuring continuous improvement. Shorter rest periods for greater volume. Rest intervals in hypertrophy training are intentionally shorter than those used in strength programs. Typically ranging from 30 to 90 seconds, these shorter breaks maintain a high level of metabolic stress within the muscles. This approach contributes to the pump, a temporary swelling of the muscles caused by increased blood flow and fluid retention, which also signals the body to prioritize muscle growth. Shorter rest periods also allow for more sets and exercises to be completed within a session, increasing the total training volume. This additional workload is a key driver of hypertrophy, ensuring that the muscles receive sufficient stimulus for growth. Strategic use of muscle failure. Training to muscle failure, where no additional repetitions can be completed with proper form, is a powerful tool for maximizing hypertrophy. It ensures that all muscle fibers, particularly the larger fast-twitch fibers, are fully recruited and challenged. While failure should not be reached on every set, incorporating it into the final set of an exercise can deliver significant benefits. For example, performing dumbbell shoulder presses to failure on the last set pushes the deltoid muscles beyond their usual limits, encouraging greater adaptation during recovery. It's important to use muscle failure judiciously to avoid overtraining. Excessive reliance on this technique can lead to burnout and prolonged recovery times. Reserve failure for isolation exercises, such as tricep pushdowns or leg extensions, where the risk of injury is lower compared to compound lifts. Phase 5. Combining strength and volume training. Achieving both strength and muscle size is the ultimate goal for many fitness enthusiasts, as it combines functional power with a well-defined physique. While these objectives require different approaches, they are not mutually exclusive. By strategically combining strength and volume training, you can optimize both aspects of muscular development. This phase explores how to balance these goals through periodization, diverse training stimuli, and meticulous planning. The role of periodization in strength and volume. Periodization is the foundation of any successful program that combines strength and hypertrophy training. This method involves dividing your training into distinct phases, each with a specific focus. Alternating between strength and volume phases ensures that both myofibrillar, strength-focused, and sarcoplasmic, size-focused, hypertrophy are effectively targeted. A typical periodized program might include strength phase, weeks 1-4. Emphasize low repetition, high-intensity lifts, 3-5 reps per set, to build neuromuscular efficiency and raw power. Volume phase, weeks 5-8. Shift to moderate repetition ranges, 8-12 reps per set, with shorter rest periods to maximize muscle size. Hybrid phase, weeks 9-12. Blend both approaches by combining low-rep compound lifts for strength and higher-rep accessory exercises for hypertrophy. This structured alternation prevents plateaus, reduces the risk of overtraining, and allows for consistent progress in both strength and size. Incorporating diverse training stimuli. Combining strength and hypertrophy requires a variety of exercises and techniques to ensure comprehensive muscle development. Compound lifts are the cornerstone of any strength phase, as they engage multiple muscle groups and allow for maximum weight to be lifted. These include squats for lower body strength, deadlifts for posterior chain and total body power, bench presses for upper body pushing strength. During hypertrophy phases, isolation exercises take on a more prominent role. Movements like lateral raises, leg curls, and tricep extensions allow you to target specific muscles, enhancing shape and symmetry. Incorporating advanced techniques such as supersets, drop sets, and tempo variations adds variety and intensity during volume-focused phases. These methods increase time under tension and metabolic stress. two critical factors for promoting muscle growth. Balancing repetition, ranges, and intensity. A well-rounded program requires careful manipulation of repetition ranges and intensity. During strength phases, the focus is on heavy weights and low repetitions, 1-5 reps. These efforts activate fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are essential for generating explosive power. Longer rest periods, 3-5 minutes, between sets allow for full recovery, ensuring optimal performance on each lift. In contrast, hypertrophy phases emphasize moderate weights and higher repetitions, 8-12 reps, to promote muscle size. Shorter rest periods, 30-90 seconds, increase the total training volume and create the metabolic stress needed for growth. During hybrid phases, you can incorporate both approaches into a single session. For example, start with heavy squats, 4 sets of 3 reps, to build strength. Follow with lunges, 3 sets of 10 reps, to target volume and definition. Finish with leg extensions, 2 sets to failure, for an intense hypertrophy stimulus. This combination ensures that you're developing strength and size simultaneously. Long-term planning for sustainable progress. Success in combining strength and volume training requires a long-term perspective. Each training phase should align with your overall goals, and progress should be tracked meticulously to identify areas for improvement. A typical plan might include foundational phase, focus on technique, mobility, and muscular endurance to prepare the body for heavier workloads. Strength phase, prioritize compound lifts and heavier weights to build maximum power. Hypertrophy phase, transition to higher rep, volume-focused training to enhance muscle size. Deload weeks, incorporate lighter training periods to allow recovery and prevent burnout. By cycling through these phases over several months, you can ensure steady progress while minimizing the risk of injury or overtraining. The importance of recovery. Combining strength and hypertrophy places significant demands on the body, making recovery a critical component of the process. Without adequate recovery, progress stalls, and the risk of injury increases. Key aspects of recovery include sleep. Aim for 7-9 hours per night to support muscle repair and growth. Sleep is also when the body releases growth hormone, which aids in recovery. Nutrition. A diet rich in protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats provides the building blocks for muscle repair and energy replenishment. Hydration. Staying well hydrated ensures optimal muscle function and prevents fatigue. Active recovery. Incorporate stretching, foam rolling, and light cardio to reduce soreness and improve flexibility. Taking a proactive approach to recovery ensures that you can train consistently and effectively over the long term. Avoiding plateaus with progressive overload. As with any training program, progressive overload is essential for continued improvement in strength and size. For strength phases, this might involve gradually increasing the weight lifted. For hypertrophy phases, progressive overload can be achieved by adding repetitions, sets, or reducing rest times. Tracking your performance in each phase ensures that you're consistently challenging your body to adapt. If progress stalls, adjustments such as changing exercises, altering repetition ranges, or introducing new techniques can reignite growth. Mental preparation for dual goals. Balancing strength and hypertrophy requires not only physical effort, but also mental discipline. Switching between training styles can be mentally taxing, particularly when transitioning from high-intensity strength work to the higher volume required for hypertrophy. Setting clear goals for each phase and celebrating small victories, such as hitting a new personal best or improving muscle definition, helps maintain motivation. Visualization and mental cues can also improve performance. Before each lift, visualize the movement and focus on specific cues, such as keep the core tight or drive through the heels. These techniques enhance concentration and ensure proper execution, leading to better results. Building strength and size for the long term. By integrating strength and volume training into a cohesive program, you can achieve both power and aesthetics. This approach not only builds a well-rounded physique, but also enhances functional performance in everyday life and sports. Through careful planning, consistent effort, and a focus on recovery, you can unlock your full potential and sustain progress over the long term. You like the video? Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.